Good day to everyone and welcome for another video presentation. For now, we are going to have here typewriting examination and identification. So yes, as we all know, a typewriter is something or a machine that we use or that can reproduce printed characters on papers. And this is considered to be one of the traditional machines that we use in reproducing printed characters. Okay? So, hindi porket po na ito ay old, okay, or sabihin natin na makaluma na siya, ay hindi natin to papakialaman na or hindi na natin to aaralin. So, ano po ang pwede nating maging dahilan dyan? Still, nowadays pa rin naman po ay ginagamit ang typewriter ng mga ibang offices. Okay? It's either a government or private offices. Still, gumagamit pa rin sila ng typewriter. Okay? So, that's why we can still include this one also. This topic, okay, in our subject question document examination. Okay? So, let's try to have here the different terminologies, okay, in typewriter examinations. So we have here the first one, okay, alignment defects. So there are also defects that we are encountering or that we have on typewriters. So katulad din sa mga kung sa ating mga computers, meron tayong mga errors, okay, dahil sa mga viruses or dahil sa mga malwares, okay? Kaya nagkakaroon ng mga errors sa computer. And ganun na din sa mga printed outputs, okay, ng ating mga computer ay merong mga defects. Still ganun din po sa ating mga typewriters. So there are defects and one of it is alignment defects. So it's either horizontal yung there is an error on the horizontal alignment or maybe an error on the vertical alignment, okay, or malalignment. So anyway, that is simply for the alignment defects, and ito yung isa din napapansinin natin for us to identify, okay. This might be considered one of the individual characteristics of a typewriter examination. So you can see this, or you can focus on these defects in order for you to identify what typewriter might be used, okay, or what was used on that certain document or certain paper. Okay? And carbon impression naman, if you are going to observe some of the cashiers, okay, cashiers ng mga different ng iba't ibang offices, okay, you might encounter this type, okay, or this kind. So carbon impression, so katulad ng sa mga resibo, okay, sa mga resibo manually na kayo ay nagsusulat, di ba? Nagsusulat tayo, then natatransfer, okay? Or hindi mo kailangan magsulat ng 2 pages or 2 copies ng resibo para sa iyo, okay? Or para sa store na yung isang kopya and then yung isang kopya ay para sa customer. So para hindi 2 beses nandiyan na ang carbon, the use of carbon, okay? And the one that is being formed, we are referring to it as carbon impression. Okay? And ganoon din sa sa typewriters. Okay, meron yung mga typewriters na ginagamitan ng carbon, okay, for them to just type it once and at least makapag-produce sila ng multiple copies or 2 copies of it. Okay? So, another one here is a character. Simply, we are referring to the letters, okay, symbols or numerals or point of punctuation. Okay? We are referring to those as characters. Okay? So, as you can see in here, this is actually a typeface. Okay? So, yung typeface po na tinutukoy natin sa ating typewriter, this is actually the one that is, kasi sabi typewriter is actually one machine, okay, for contact printing or impact printing. Bakit? Okay? So, yun nga, by the word impact or contact printing, makakabuo ka ng characters or may imprint mo yung characters by having by the impact that was made on the paper and of course on the typeface. Okay, so as you can see, we have here characters on the typeface. So this is the one that creates, okay, or that will be in contact, okay, with the type ribbon, okay, and then as well as to the paper to create or to imprint letters, okay, or characters na tinatawag natin. So pag marumi po yan or clog po yan or dirty typeface, then madideform na yung mga letters na mabubuo. Okay, may imprint doon sa papel. Okay, because wala na, deformed na yung typeface natin. So as you can see, clog po ito or dirty. So instead na letter A instead na may mabubuong letter A, then it might be a deformed, or I mean it might be, yes, deformed, or it might be, okay, just a blank, or hindi na makakapag-produce ng letter. Okay, as you can see, it's very dirty actually. Okay, and we have here the defects. Defects, we are referring to any defects. It's either a maladjustment or abnormality with regards to the style of the letter or with the alignment of the letter as well. And a while ago, this is another kind of defect, or to be specific, under the alignment defects. So we have here the horizontal alignment. Okay, so horizontal alignment, okay, of course, by the word itself, alignment defect in which character prints on the right to left of its proper position. So as you can see, this has a good naman sa illustration natin, it has a good horizontal alignment. Okay, it's not mal alignment kasi ano naman, maayos naman yung horizontal alignment niya. Okay? So if the horizontal alignment, okay, nagkakaroon ng variation. So let's say in here, straight siya, tapos on the center part ay umaangat, okay, and then bababa na naman, okay, so that is the time there is already a defect, okay, or there is already horizontal malalignment, okay, or tumataas yung letter, yung iba nasa baba, yung iba nasa taas, or mas mataas yung letters natin. Okay, so there is already a horizontal malalignment if that's the case. Okay, so we are simply malalignment, we are referring to it as alignment defect. Okay, by the word mal, okay, or improper, kumbaga. Okay, by the word mal, the root word mal, okay, or the prefix mal, it means a defect or it means improper. Okay, so by the word itself, malalignment, alignment defects po yan. Of its fit naman, okay, this is a condition. It says in here, condition of typeface printing heavier on the side or the corner over than the remainder of its outline. So dito nagbabago. I mean, there is variation also on the okay, the thickness maybe, okay, or the thickness of the print, okay, of the printed characters. And meron din yung let's say in here, sabi naman dyan, printing heavier on one side. So let's say on the right side, okay, mas makapal yung printing niya, but on the other side lumalabo, okay, or mas thicker na, okay. So that is a problem, or we are referring it as of its fit when it comes to typewriting examination. And permanent defects, this cannot be corrected already. Okay, permanent defects. So kapag nasira na yung typeface, pag naputol, okay, nagkaroon ng deformities sa typeface, then maybe, okay, those could be an example of permanent defects. Pero pag marumi lang yan, pag marumi, then maybe that is just temporary. Okay, pwede pa namang linisin. So yon, permanent defects, there is a need to change it already. And we have here the Platen. Okay, Platen is actually a cylindrical, okay, it's a part of a typewriter actually. Okay, so it is a cylindrical roller in a typewriter against which the paper is held, okay, or this is kumbaga the holder of the paper, okay, wherein you are going to have the contact printing. So as you can see, this is the Platen of the typewriter, and as to its location, you can see it in here. Okay, so that is the one that is in contact, I mean that holds, okay, the paper as well. And of course, that is where in the typeface as well as the typewriting ribbon, okay, being might be having in contact with. Okay, but to be specific, just take note, this is the one that held the paper, okay, or holds the paper. And we have here the term proportional spacing typewriting. So this is a characteristics, okay, of a modern form of typewriting. Okay, so ano yung dahilan? Okay, ano yung dahilan natin kaya natin nasabi na yan ay modern? Okay? Or ito yung mas prefer natin, this contemporary period. Okay? Kasi some of the old or the first typewriters, okay, they have the fixed pitch or monospacing of typewriting. Okay? So as you can see, mas malawak po, nagko-consume siya ng mas malawak na space. Okay? So makonsumo siya sa papel just in case. But we have here an illustration for proportional spacing, so at least na concise. Okay? Na pagdikit-dikit yung ating mga letters in here. So at least we were able to minimize the space that is being used. Okay, when it comes to typewriting or uh, when we use proportional spacing. Okay, so nasabi dyan na fixed or monospace kasi as you can see, if it is dito sa W, okay, the size of it is let's say around maybe less than, okay, let's say less than maybe, okay, half, I mean quarter inch, okay, let's say in here. And as you can see, they have the same here with letter O. Okay, and then even though na mas maikli naman, okay, ang letter O, pero fixed kasi yung ating spacing. As you can see in here, fixed siya parehas sa letter R. Pero yon, since dito naman sa proportional spacing, as you can see, mas finite siya dun sa letter. Okay, kumbaga. So, yung letter R naman, it does not consume a wider space. So, yon, they all provided, okay, they provided a smaller amount of space, or they make the spacing narrower, okay, for letter R. So, it's still same here in this illustration. Okay, a comparison between monospace type and then a proportional type. So, as you can see, mas malawak yung nakukonsume, okay, using monospace type. However, in proportional type, we have here a narrower spacing. Okay, so that is for proportional spacing typewriting. Okay, and ribbon condition. So, meron po tayo yung ribbon. Okay, it's not, it's actually the one. Okay, sabi po dito, gradually deteriorate with use and degree of determination is a measure of a ribbon condition. So, yung ribbon po na tinutukoy natin is this one. So, this is actually the one that is in contact also with the typeface, and this is the one that will transfer the pigment or the ink doon sa ating paper. Okay, so yun, with the ribbon condition, this is affected. I mean, this is the one also that is being deteriorated, and meron tayong nabubuo because of that deterioration. Then we can have already individual characteristics that are being formed by this type or by that certain typewriter. Okay, so pwedeng yun yung makita natin na identifying characteristic ng typewriter na ito. Okay, just in case. So anyway, that is for the ribbon impression. Then that would be the typewriting, okay, or the printed or the impression that was made by the ribbon when it was in contact with the paper as well. Okay, and transitory defects, this kabaliktaran naman po ito ng permanent defect. So this can be defects that can be eliminated by simply cleaning. Okay, by cleaning. So that is still I mean a defect that we can still fix. Okay, and typeface, as I've mentioned a while ago, this is the one that is in contact with the ribbon, okay, and of course to the paper. So with that, this is the one, or in our illustration, this is an example of a typeface, okay, or an illustration for typeface. So as you can see, it contains the different letters or different characters. So nandyan symbols, nandyan punctuation marks, as well as numbers. So yon, ito po yung tumatama doon sa ating ribbon. Okay, in order for the ribbon to transfer the pigment to the paper. Okay, so that is for the typeface, and also this is one that this is also one, okay, wherein we can if it has a defect, okay, or if it has a deterioration, it has deteriorations, then it can have, we can these typefaces, typeface of the typewriter can create individual characteristics, okay, wherein we can identify or we can use that variations or individual characteristics for it to identify what typewriter was used. Okay? So, hindi po yung purpose natin ay kung paano ayusin yung defect niya actually. But in order for us, okay, we can make use of those defects, okay, or we can make use of those individual characteristics that are being formed for identification. Okay, so typeface defects, maybe it's on the breaks on the outline of the letter, or maybe it could be yun, for the reason na tumagal yung ating masyado nang matagal yung ating typewriter, then maybe there is already bending, okay, or the typeface or the characters being attached on the typeface is already smashed. Okay, so that those might be the defects or some defects that we can see on the typeface. Okay, and we have here twisted letter. This is one defect that was mentioned a while ago on the typeface. Okay, this is produced by a typeface that is defect, that has a defect, might be. Okay, so as you can see in here, the characters, okay, lean to the right or left of their slant. As you can see in here, yung letter A, he lean already, or it lean already on the other letter. Okay, just like in here also, yun, nagkadikit na sila. So those might be an example. I mean, those are what we are referring to as twisted letters. Okay, and vertical malalignment, as you can see, we have here, it is a, we can see it in here that it has, okay, the alignment is improper. A vertical malalignment, right? So as you can see on the first stanza or first part, okay, line of this sentence, as you can see, this is the indentation. Okay, it's indentation, but as you can see here, it is, or it varied again. Okay, it changed. So there is a vertical malalignment on the typewriter, okay, that we are using. So that is for that vertical malalignment. Right, and for the things, okay, we have actually four things or four main things that we are going to consider for identification, okay, of a typewritten documents. So yan, katulad sa common actually ang typewriter sa mga cashiers of some offices. So yan, involve ang pera pag mga usapang resibo or receipt, okay? So it's very important also for us to know, okay, what we should consider, okay, for for us to know, okay, how to identify a genuine, or how to identify if what typewriter was used, maybe, okay, for us to detect forgery, or maybe to detect what is the, or who is the real, or what typewriter was made, was used in creating that document. So, unang-una po dyan, one characteristic that we are going to consider is the slant, okay? Slant of the characters, or slant of the letters, yes, or the characters that was printed, okay, on the paper, okay? So, that could be used for identification of a typewritten documents. Slants. Aside from that is alignment also. Yes, as I've mentioned a while ago also. Okay? So, yun. If a typewriter is in proper alignment, each character should strike in the center of any an imaginary rectangle. Okay? And alignment, there are specific characteristics, or maybe individual characteristics of um, typewriters when it comes to alignment also that we can consider. Okay, and footing naman, or nandun yung nasabi natin kanina, or nandito yung sinabi natin kanina na of its feet. Okay, or a letter may strike heavier either on the right side, on the left, on the top, or of the bottom, on the bottom. Okay, so you can consider that as one of the identifying characteristics also of typewritten documents, as well as defects in typeface. As I've mentioned a while ago, this is common actually. This may be brought about either mistreatment, or as a result of yun, masyado nang matagal yung ating typewriter, or gamit na yung typewriter natin. Okay, so you can observe the size and spacing, as well as it's either a vertical and horizontal alignment as well, okay, or spacing, and of course type style also, okay, and unique identifying characteristics, okay, character and alignment defects also. So those are the things that you can observe, okay, in order for us to establish what typewriter was used also, okay. So now we have here the different types of typewriters. Unang-una po dyan ay conventional typewriters using typebars. As you can see in here, we have here, it has typebars. Sorry, it has typebars, and we have here a Pica type. Okay, so mas ano siya, mas malawak yung spacing. Kaya kung mapapansin ninyo, 10 letters per inch lang po yung kaya niyang isulat. Okay, or yung kaya niyang i-imprint, I should say. So mas malawak yung sizes ng letters, or we can say mas malalaki yung letters niya. Okay? Comparing to elite type, okay, 12 letters per inch. So at least mas maraming characters ang kanyang recreate in just 1 inch. Okay? So ano siya, mas narrower maybe ang spacing, or mas narrower or mas maliliit yung kanyang itsura. Okay, yung letterings. Ito naman 6 letter per inch. So ito na yung mga mas sinauna, okay, na klase ng typewriter. So mas malalawak na yung kinukonsume na spacing, as well as mas malalaki na yung letters. And teletype machine, this is actually, okay, we have here an illustration of a teletype machine. Okay, so it is very common also on some of the cashiers in offices, ginagamit nila na of different private or maybe public cashiers office. Okay, and this is one of the special type of special typewriters, kasi mapapansin niyo mas narrower or mas maliliit, and mas marami siyang naisusulat in a certain inch. Okay, 14 to 16 letter per inch. So meron tayong mga klase-klase ng typewriters that conventional typewriters, okay, that uses type bars containing or varying, okay, in letters per inch as well also. Okay, and as you can see, we have here also typewriter using single element or ball. As you can see, it doesn't have a ribbon in there. Okay, but as you can see, it's actually have here a ball. Okay, using single ball elements or ball. Okay, a typewriter machine capable of typing 10 or characteristic or 10 character per inch also. Okay, and change horizontal spacing is done by easily flip a switch. Okay, so it is one of the older type of typewriters also. Okay, so this is just the different, this is the one that is different, okay, on the other typewriter that was presented a while ago. Okay, and we have here the other one. Okay, the typewriter. A typewriter using a print wheel. Okay, or this is one of the modern type of typewriter. Okay, or tinatawag din as electronic typewriter. So this is a typewriter, okay, equipped with a type device called a print wheel. So print wheel, it was inside. So hindi na type ball yung itsura. Hindi na rin type, it does not already have a the typeface, as well as a circular, okay, let's say a ball, as well as yung itsura na merong typewriting ribbon. Okay, pero as you can see in here, it is electronic typewriter, okay, or it has a print wheel inside. Okay, and it's capable for typing of 10 to 12 or 15 letters per inch. So depende, kasi meron kasi yung letter din na malalawak, di ba? Tulad ng W, pero meron din yung maikli katulad ng letter I, okay, or letter L as well. Okay? So anyway, those are the types, or the common 3 types of typewriters that we have. Okay? And we have here on the last part, comparison of the ball typewriting. Yung na-mention natin kanina, okay? Yung sa single ball. So ito yung nandyan, okay? Yung involved, okay? Or attached in there. And this is the one that is attached on the electronic, okay? Electronic typewriter. It has a, or we can say it is a print wheel. Okay, and this is one of the conventional, okay, or one of the older also, okay, type of type of typewriter, or installed in older, okay, typewriters. Okay, so we have here the Typeface as well. Okay, so overall, those are the things that I would like also to share with regards to our I mean, with regards to typewriting examination and identification. So those are the basic things that we should consider for this time or as of now. Okay, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching and till next time.